Welcome to Prince Shorthand House. Exercise number 73 and 74, Sir Kailash Chandra, 140 words a minute. Be ready? Start. So far as the utility of the All India services is concerned, I would like to mention that first of all, it will introduce an element of competition. There will be a wider field of selection, there will be mobility from one state to another, and from the state to the center, and from the center to the states. These people will thus have a greater opportunity of gaining very rich experience, which will be of great use not only to them but to the people with whom they have to work. I would like to mention one more very important aspect, that of national integration. The men of the All India services, by their experience in one state, will be able to come closer to the people of the different states, mix with them well, and this will accelerate the process of national integration. This is not a small achievement through the services. If the services do not have this national approach, then it is bound to have an adverse effect on the people as a whole, because the services are in a way an element of the society and they are able to build up public opinion. I am not only talking of the officers at the top but at different levels, and the kinds of opinion they hold, the way they behave, the way they act, all have their own effect on the people. And if they function on a national basis in a disinterested way, having no parochial views, and consider matters at the national level, then this will create a national atmosphere in the country. So it is very important that there should be as many All India services as possible, because as I said, they are able to move about with every section of the people of the states, know their language, and they are able to bring fresh experience and fresh outlook in the different states wherever they go. Coming to the present two services which are the subject matter of this resolution, the Agricultural Administration Committee, which was set up in 2008 to examine the question of reorganization of agricultural administration, recommended the formation of an All India Agricultural Service. Accordingly, a scheme was drawn up by the Ministry of Food and Agriculture and circulated to the state governments on August 9, 2012. So far as the question of All India services is concerned, it is this House that has the right to move and pass such a resolution, but because the states are also concerned, naturally we consult the states, we take them into confidence, we discuss with them, and it is only after all the states have agreed that this question was finally decided, and it was thought proper that these two All India services should be formed. This does not mean that merely by the passing of this resolution the services are finalized. The terms and conditions, the number of posts, promotions, and other details will have again to be brought before Parliament. As you know, this resolution only says that it is necessary and expedient in the national interest that Parliament should by law provide for the creation of these two services. So this resolution is only a preliminary step in a way. This is not a final step. Therefore, I am not going to touch upon the details because the details are not necessary, but I will give broad outlines of these two services. It is proposed that like the existing All India services, each state should have an agricultural service cadre of its own, incorporating the posts of district agricultural officers and above. The union territories would have a separate cadre to meet their requirements. The requirements of the center would be met by drawing officers on annual deputation from the state and union territories cadre. So far as recruitment is concerned, 33% of the junior post will be filled by promotion of officers of the state agricultural services, while the remaining post will be filled by direct recruitment. That means those who are already in position will be promoted, while 2/3 of the total will be filled by direct recruitment. There will be four categories of post: director of agriculture, additional director, deputy directors, and assistant directors of agriculture. These are the broad outline. I am not going into the details. So far as the education service is concerned, it was at the National Integration Conference held from 20th September to 1st October 1961 that views were expressed strongly that for administrative purposes an all India service should be created in the field of education. It was not only so that conference, but here also more than once several members had brought forward resolutions for this purpose. I remember one of our revered members brought such a resolution. Very often such resolutions were brought forward, but it was not possible for us to get all the states together. Next para, if we look at the provision of the constitution, we will find that this resolution is in pursuance of the provisions in article 312. According to sub article 2 of the same article, we have now the Indian Administrative Service and the Indian Police Service, which according to the sub article are deemed to have been created by Parliament. Earlier also we decided to create some other all India services. The reasons for the creation of these services have been given by the Honorable Minister, and I entirely agree to them. One other aspect of this question I want to place before this House, and this is that the scale of pay and the prospects in the all India services will be better than those in the state services, that there will be a wider field of selection, and that the conditions of service and the scale of pay will attract better persons. We know that quite a large number of our young men, doctors, engineers, etc. are still outside the country. Though they are keen to come and serve the country, the service conditions in the state service are not such as to attract them. I hope and trust that our young engineers and others who are abroad will be attracted to come back to our country and serve it in view of the better prospects. I think that the object of creating an all India service is to supplement and not to supplant the state services. I mean to say that there will still be the state education service, although we are going to have an all India education service also. I know how the state are dealing with it. I know about the state of Uttar Pradesh. As far as education is concerned, we have got a state education service and also subordinate education service. In the state service, there is class 1 and class 2. There is no direct recruitment to class 1 service generally. Therefore, when we are going to create an all India service, I think the first question which will come up before the government will be as to which of the personnel of the state services are fit enough to be observed in the all India service. I find that the Honorable Minister had suggested that there might be a proportion of 33% reserved for promotion. After this resolution is passed by this House, the government will consider the question of legislation for the creation of these services. I read the provision in Article 312 and I know that the creation of these services is possible only by a law, that we have got to bring forward a bill and pass it into law. But as far as the conditions of service and all other things are concerned, they are also to be regulated by Parliament. Therefore, my suggestion is that these things should be determined by rules made under the proposed act, and the authority to make the rules should be delegated to the government in that respect, so that after everything has been gone into a proper decision is made both in regard to the conditions of service and also the proportion for recruitment, for direct recruitment and by promotion. I have seen executive officers working in the states drawn both from the IAS and the provincial executive service. Normally, IAS officers are deputed to the states, and during their posting they are under the control of the state. They are posted according to the recruitment of the state. I think the same principle will be followed in regard to these all India services also, but it will be desirable that officers serving in one state should not be allowed to remain there for a very long period. They should be taken back from the state and given to another state, or they may be allowed to work in the center. But as far as the administrative control of these officers is concerned, that will be with the states. But at the same time, because they are all India officers, all disciplinary proceedings and action taken in consequence thereof is to be taken by the central government in consultation with the Union Public Service Commission. There is one thing more, and that is this: although these officers will be serving in the states and will really to a certain extent replace the present state officers, still I feel that additional expenditure on administration will be necessary. To think that it will not involve any additional expenditure is, I think, not a correct notion. The finances of the states being what they are, all the elastic resources are with us at the center. It is not possible for the states to bear any further burden. If any additional expenditure is involved in the creation of these services, that burden must be borne by the center and not transferred to the states, because this expenditure is on central services. Stop.